We are here to talk, we are here to share, and we are here to share our views. So let it be a two-way communication. I hope I am audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So keeping these things in mind, yeah, I have kept the title of my talk as environment management and role of youth in environment protection. Since last few weeks, you have been having formal lectures on different aspects and different problems of environment. So today's lecture will be a general overview, and the main emphasis will be on environment management, because once we know the problem, we have to manage it. And I believe that you people, that is the youth of our country, that can play a major role or a pivotal role in protection of the environment. And if anything is one thing I want to just share with you at the start of this session, that if anything is not clear, and let it be a discussion sort of forum, I would love to hear your ideas. I would love to interact with you. So let it be an open forum. So this, I hope you recognize the place. I hope you recognize the place. This photograph must be familiar to you. Where is it?
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
are you sharing something?
Yeah, it's not being
Ma'am,
shared.
no, ma'am. Have you presented it?
Yes, yes. Okay, please. Okay, I never realized this thing. One thing, I'll just go back and I think 1 second. It's not being shared. I thought it's being shared. 1 second. Kavita, now is it being shared?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. I didn't realize this thing. Okay.
Ma'am, just press that hide button on that screen.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, sure. 1 second. Is it okay now, Kavita?
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. So I was asking this familiar photograph. Are you able to recognize?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Where is
Yes, ma'am.
it?
Yes,
What
ma'am.
is it?
Clear.
Yeah.
It is a
SFS
forest.
college.
Yeah, it's our jogging track, SFS
Our college
college.
only, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
your college. And I can make out from your voices how happy you are to see the photograph. Yes. So, and we are blessed to have our college is located in such a serene environment. Uh, environment, as you all know, it's the sum of all economical, biological, physical, all the chemical factors which surround the man or living organism. Then you have also studied about environmental factors. There are two types of factors. One is living, the another is non-living, abiotic, then biotic. Then living includes plants, animals, microorganisms, and non-living includes climatic, topographic, and edaphic. Edaphic means soil. Climatic means light, atmospheric temperature, rainfall, humidity, gases, atmospheric gases. Topography includes all the factors which are concerned with the physical geography of the earth. Now, as you all know, the main components of the environment, they are continuously interacting with each other. And coming to our environmental science studies, it's a multidisciplinary branch of science involving chemistry, physics, maths, computer science, agriculture, botany, public health, then sociology, geography, economics. And when we talk about the basic components, we have already studied, we can make it up as, break it into three main components: atmosphere or air, hydrosphere or water, and lithosphere includes rock and soil. And all these three constitutes the biosphere. And environment, as you all know, it influences our life. because it is from the environment that we get food to eat, water to drink, then air to breathe. So it's a life support system. Now, this I'll just quickly, we'll have a recap of this, because all these environmental, let us just have a recap of the different environmental concerns. You already had separate sessions for all these environmental problems. So first, as you all know, environment pollution, air pollution, water pollution, then soil pollution, and then noise pollution. And the factor which is responsible for the degradation of the environment nowadays is anthropogenic activities of man. So all the developmental activities which we have to be viewed in the light of it, because we can't stop the developmental activities, we have to go with it. So nowadays the concept of sustainable development is coming up, and these are again deforestation, soil erosion, global warming. You all have heard about it. Then population explosion. These are the main environment concerns. And then important is again biodiversity conservation, then waste disposal treatment, then deforestation, then different pollutions, then global warming, then population explosion, urbanization, then resource depletion. So these are all wasteland reclamation, bioremediation. So these are all the major problems or issues which are addressed in environmental science. Now, coming to the importance of the environment, we already mentioned that it is the life support system. So it's because environment is responsible for creating conditions which are responsible for existence of healthy biosphere in this planet. And our planet, which is very rich in biodiversity. Now, I will not go far away. Let us see our college only. In college, if you see, you will find varieties of birds. In fact, that Japanese garden stretch is a favorite birding spot with the bird lovers. And also, if you go around the campus, you will find different variety of trees, different varieties of shrubs, different varieties of herbs. So now coming to the importance, since life, we already mentioned, it's dependent on the environment. So if our environment is deteriorated, it will cause many adverse and harmful effects. And the main thing which we have to stop is the over exploitation of natural resource. So they are very important because obviously, like as Mahatma Gandhi said, that there is enough for everyone need, but not enough for greed. So we have to stop the over exploitation of the natural system resources. Then these are the environmental problems which we have already talked about. So these are the making our life difficult. In what sense? That they are reducing the quality of our life. Our quality of life is being affected because of basically this most important thing, pollution, then global warming. You have seen that nowadays the concept of climate change is coming in. Climate change now, earlier what was the thing that we used to have this particular temperature is in this season, or this particular temperature in this month of the year, but now that has changed. Now you can see it's already March has just started and it's terribly hot. So all this is due to all global warming. Then all this it is taking a toll on our health also, and also decreasing the quality of our life. And again, there are because of this extinction of various plants and animals. That is also because of a lot of industries are coming in, and we are encroaching upon the habitat of the animals. And as you all must be knowing, Nagpur is the tiger capital. You must have heard about a lot of wildlife sanctuaries and wildlife parks are there in Nagpur. And can you tell me the most favorite park which is just near to Nagpur? It's a tiger reserve. It's a tiger reserve. Tadoba. Pench is also there. Tadoba is there. So these are all wildlife reserves, for tiger reserves, you can say. So then another very important problem which also comes is food adulteration. So that also affects our life and our health also. So, and these all environmental problems, they are the outcomes of modern civilization, because what we are using is we are using improper use of fertilizers and chemicals. So what is nowadays, as you all know, the different chemicals which are used in plant production system, they are leading to soil pollution. So nowadays people are going towards more and more towards eco-friendly or environment-friendly techniques. And they, like, you must have heard the term organic farming. All those things are now coming up, and people are organic farming. Then organic products are also coming up, where there is less use or a minimal use of pesticides and also insecticides. Then another thing is industrialization. We have already discussed, and deforestation. Because of this industrial development, what is happening is the forests are being cleared. And because of this, what is happening? Because we are at a place where there are a lot of wildlife reserves. You must have heard about the man-animal conflict, that the tiger, it had come in the village searching for food and searching for water. It enters a house, and then also it kills the people. But who is at fault? The tiger is not at fault. If we are encroaching on, they are not coming in our area. The problem is that we have encroached upon their area. And because of all this, what is happening? Clearing of the forest, and then setting of the industries on that place, or what is happening, that their habitat is being disturbed. So obviously they will come to the villages. So that has led to man-animal conflict. That is one of the main reasons. So again, this we have done. So all these basic concerns which are raised for the environment. So it's a duty to conserve the environment. And now, what is the need for environmental studies? Now you have one of the paper of environmental studies in second year, and now you all know that it's compulsory paper for all the second year students, irrespective of the stream, whether they are from arts, science side, or they are from science side, or they are from commerce side. This paper is a compulsory paper, because this itself highlights the fact that it's the conservation of environment is very important, and each and every individual, each and every human being is being affected because of that. Okay. So environmental studies is very important if you want to have healthy food, if you want to have fertile land, if you want to have clean and fresh air to breathe, and clean drinking water. In fact, because of this pandemic, you must have heard a lot of people are telling that because of the lockdown and all, the quality of air has increased. The animals, they are coming out of this thing, they are roaming freely, so that the water bodies have become more clean, because all these, the man is the most important factor which is affecting the environment, and in turn he is harming himself only. So now, most important thing which I believe is need for public awareness, and that is what I tell, that the youth, they have a very important role to play, because this environmental studies paper has been introduced in second year for all the streams of all the universities, because of this reason, to make the public aware of these environmental problems. Because once you are made aware of any problem, then only you can take steps to mitigate that problem. Now, you can see this hierarchy. There are different social organizations, educationalists, social workers, politicians, administrators, then people. So what happens is, it's a collective effort which has to be made by each and every strata of the society to improve the quality of our environment. Because what happens is, the government it makes the laws, it makes the acts, but if people are not following it, then it's of no use. So there has to be collaboration with all the strata of the society, so that we can work collectively towards conserving our environment, or for taking care of the issues which are concerning the environment. So active cooperation of everyone at every level is needed for issues concerning the environment. And I already mentioned this, the movements which begin at grassroots levels, they affect the policies of a country. But then if we don't change the mindset of the people, then these laws, these rules, they are of no use. And these little efforts on the part of each individual, it will go a long way in conserving our nature and natural resources. Because when I'm talking to you about the environment, one thing you might ask, and it must be coming in your mind also, what I can do, or if I don't do this little thing, what difference will it make? So, my dear students, if we contribute our little bit, whatever we can, we will collectively make a huge difference in the quality of our environment. So don't ever think that what I can do, or if I am doing this little thing, what difference will it make? So little steps, they they'll go a long way in improving the quality of our air, then improving the environment, then conservation of biodiversity. So these small things which go a long way in preserving the environment by burning of fossil fuels. You all know that we release CO2 and other greenhouse gases. It causes global warming, or the chlorofluorocarbons which are used in refrigerator in air conditions. They also damage the ozone layer, and that ozone layer, you know, that protect us from UV radiations in sunlight. So that is what my question is. Nowadays, everybody talks about environment, but how many of us are serious about it? So there must be planning about the effects and control, especially of environmental pollution, because this is the major environmental concern. So what all we can do is we can take up awareness campaigns to save the environment. And you all know that we have in second year environmental studies, so it is already an integral part of our educational programs. And then very important thing is we should discourage to use fuel vehicles. Like if you are going for a short distance, you have to go at a short distance, so you can walk. And instead of taking out the vehicle every time, if you just have to go a small distance and short routes, we can use bicycle, or you can just walk. And then use lead-free petrol. Nowadays, CNG, you also know that CNG is also come up, so that also results in reduction in environmental pollution. And you also know that PUC certificate, pollution under control, that PUC certificate is mandatory for that. That again is a step to control the air pollution. Okay, now coming to the water resources, if we can say, avoid overuse of water for cleaning and other purposes. So I'm not saying that you don't use water, but what I want to emphasize is you should use water judiciously. What do you mean by judicious use of water? Like if you are washing your vehicle, don't use pipe, use bucket and a mug. So that way you will save water. Like for bathing purpose, if you are don't use shower, because that takes up more water. Now again, you all will agree with me. Most of us, what we do is that while brushing our teeth, the tap is open, and we are just taking out the toothbrush and then putting the toothpaste and then brushing our teeth, and all the meanwhile the tap is kept open. So that should not be there. So these small steps you can take. Like if you all must be having your maid might be coming at your home to wash utensils. So what do these people do? Simply when they are just using this thing to wash, this tap is continuously kept open. So you can just tell her politely that please don't use the tap when you are not using the water. So these small steps you can take. Then you can plantation of trees. That also is a good step what we can do. Then LED bulbs, they take up less of energy, light energy. Then rainwater harvesting. This is a very important step for water management, rainwater harvesting. In fact, it's now mandatory for the this thing, whenever new building is coming up, it's important, it's compulsory that this rainwater harvesting system should be there. Then use of solar panels, that again is a step towards efficient use of energy. Solar energy, it's a renewable source of energy, so solar panels can be used. And all these things, now new concept is coming up, I'll take up in detail. Green buildings. So what are green buildings? So that I'll take up shortly. Now, all these things which I have, all those measures which we can take for environment conservation. So we should try to reduce the carbon footprint. Now, nowadays this term is coming up, how you can reduce your carbon footprint. So what is a carbon footprint? Carbon footprint is the total amount of greenhouse gases, including CO2, methane, and that are generated by our actions. So we should try to reduce our carbon footprint. And there are different ways to reduce carbon footprint. Some of the ways which we have already discussed, like you can, to short distances, you can use your bicycle, or you can walk instead of taking out your vehicles. That will reduce the carbon footprint. Then there are three, nowadays actually, earlier it was told there are 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Now again, there is one more R added to it: refuse. So 3 R's. So it's a great step towards combating the climate change. And then again, what else you can do? You can conserve water. Then you should eat seasonal foods, local available, instead of going for the processed foods and all. Then another thing which you can do to reduce your carbon footprint is switch to clean source of energy, or the sustainable or the clean source of energy. And then another very important thing which you can do is refuse single-use plastics. In fact, for eating also, this thermocols and all, now it has been banned also because of these. And that is a good step. So all those plastic, cups and containers that single-use, that all should be discarded. So refuse single-use plastics. Then you should look for green energy. Green energy, I already mentioned, planting of lot of trees, or use of solar panels and all. Then if you are going to a store to buy something, take your reusable bag with you. So these are just small steps which you can take to reduce your carbon footprint, and to make the quality of environment good for us. Now I already just said, now the concept, this is a new concept, the concept of green buildings is coming up. What are green buildings? So green buildings are the buildings which provides healthier spaces for the occupants as compared to the conventional buildings. So how do these green buildings provide healthier spaces? Is water efficiency is there, like less use of water efficiency is there, like rainwater harvesting is there. Then optimizes energy efficiency, then renewable energy sources, solar panels, I just mentioned. Then it conserves natural resources. Then it generates less waste reduction. Nowadays, this Nagpur, one good thing is coming up. You have seen there are 2 different dustbins. One is blue in color and one is green in color. One is for keeping the wet waste, one is for dry waste. So
one black in color.
Yeah, one black in color. Yes, very good. So these are all the steps. But then government is doing all these steps, taking all these steps. But who has to follow? We, the people, have to follow. If we don't follow, then there is no use of all these things. So you have to use, many people, what they are doing is they are making compost out of your kitchen waste. Your kitchen waste, your vegetable peels and fruit peels, they can be composted and they can be used as a very good source of fertilizer. So all those things can be done at your level. Then all these things, and you can use good, improve the good indoor air quality. How you can improve? You can use air purifying plants, like Sansevieria, then palm.
Gas cylinder.
Yes.
Ma'am, can we replace our gas cylinders too by using vegetable waste and all?
Actually, that is this by using this methane is created, gobar gas and all, but that is not commercialized yet. But then it can be done because it has been done on a small scale, but not yet implemented on the larger scale. Okay. So all these in green building, what we are main emphasis is on use of environment friendly, then recyclable, then non-toxic materials. Nowadays, if you see the internet, many non-toxic building construction materials are coming up. So all those materials are being used in making up these buildings, and all these results in these are all examples of sustainable development. So now, one more concept which is now coming up for environment management is green audit. Green audit or environment audit, and then resulting in environment impact assessment. Nowadays, all the, especially the educational institutes and other institutes also, the government is making it mandatory to do the green audit of the building. So what is a green audit? Green audit is a environment friendly practice by which you are reducing your carbon footprint. Like green audit, in what is done in green audit is a process of systematic identification, then quantification, then recording, then reporting, and then analysis of components of environment diversity of any establishment. So what is basically done, aim of green audit is to analyze the environmental practices within and outside of the concerned area, and which will have impact on the eco-friendly ambience of that building. Like if you have to do a green audit, you have to see how many trees are there. Then you have to see whether solar panels are installed. Then you have to see renewable sources of energy, whether you're using or not. Then another thing is whether wastewater treatment is there or not. Whether whatever waste is, minimum waste is created, and whatever waste is created, whether it's being recycled or not. You already had a lecture on solid waste management also. So all these things are taking into account to come at a conclusion, and this is what is green audit is all about. So again, as I have said, that any government at its own level can't achieve the goals of sustainable development until there is participation of public. So it is possible only when the public is aware about the environmental issues. Like now, you know, there has been a ban on polythenes. So, but still some, if you go to some shops, they are using polythenes. So what you can do on your part? You take your own you take your own bag, which you can reuse it. Don't take plastic. Even if the shopkeeper is giving you something in plastic, kindly refuse gently. No, I have my own bag. I don't want this plastic bag. So this is what you can do.
Ma'am, can we talk about the polythenes that are written by the cows?
Yes, that is a nuisance, and it's for because of this, so many animals they die. Because obviously, what people are doing, they are putting that waste food and all, they are putting in a polythene bag and they are dumping it. So obviously, the animals they are coming, like cow, buffaloes, they come and they eat that, and obviously just to eat food, they eat that polythene also, and that goes in the system, and obviously it creates a health problem, and ultimately the animal dies also. So these are small things which you can do. That is what I am emphasizing again and again. Government has made the laws, government has banned the polythenes, but then what you are doing? So this is what you can do. You can educate your people around you on the ban this harmful effects of using the polythenes. You can motivate people to take their own bags. And people means the people around you. Now, I'm giving a very this example also. Like this is again with respect to pollution of water bodies. Now, during the Ganesh Chaturthi, you all know our this lakes, Ambazari Lake, or mainly this Telankheri Lake. So if you see the water quality before the immersion during this Ganesh Chaturthi festival and after the immersion, you will find huge deterioration in the quality of water. But then there is one good sign also. What is a good thing? If you happen to go there during the Ganesh Chaturthi, you see a lot of young people. What they are doing is they are educating people to not to use POP image, this idol. Then they educate the people. They ask them. They have their small bags with them. They ask the people gently to please put all those garlands and all the nirmay which you call, and don't put it in the water body. It causes pollution. Then yes.
Ma'am, educating themselves is not a good idea though, because they even know the consequences, but then also they go ahead and do
But
all.
that is what I'm telling. So obviously, see, I always believe in one thing. Like I think right now addressing, I don't know, when I joined, there were 50, 55 students. I don't know how many are there now. But if I am able to motivate, I don't expect to motivate or put my ideas across, and I don't expect all 55 students or maybe 100 students who have joined in to follow my ideas. But if I am able to motivate and put my ideas across, say only 10 students, I will be little satisfied that yes, this I have done my bit. So if you are telling 10 people, and out of 10 people, if only 2 responds, yes, you have done your part. Is it clear?
Ma'am, a strict law should be created against all.
No, that is what I'm telling. Strict law government will make, but then we have to follow that. And what our youth can do, that is what I'm telling. You can motivate people around you. If you go to during the Ganesh Chaturthi festival to these water bodies, you will find many young people. I can name if you read newspaper and all, there is a foundation in Nagpur, Green Visual Foundation, which has all the young people. Kaustav Chatterjee is the brain behind that the thing, and he has involved all the young people with him. Green Visual Foundation. What do? They are there during that time. They request the public, and there's a one, every cloud has a silver lining. So I have seen people relenting to that. If they are explaining the things, sir, please put your all those things or those garlands and all and flowers, please put in this bag. The people do. Then the small idols, they are not immersed in water. They are artificial tanks are there. So all these things are being done. And if out of 100, if 80 people are following that, it's a good thing. And gradually, because we cannot expect the people to change their mindset overnight. This change cannot be brought overnight. It's a gradual process. So it's like that. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this, as I already mentioned, it is the duty of we, the educated people, to educate others about the adverse effects of environment degradation. So there have been different distinct conferences and different summits have been taken place. Which they are very classical examples. So I felt that you should know about those. This like Earth Summit in 1992. It was held at Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Then World Summit on Sustainable Development was at Johannesburg in 2002. Then environment, there are like so many laws and act has been introduced. Like Environment Protection Act was introduced in 1976, and you must also know that World Environment Day is celebrated on 5th June to highlight the importance of environment conservation. Then Wildlife Week, because wildlife biodiversity conservation is also very, very important. So Wildlife Week is celebrated from 1st to 7th October. Then this Wildlife Day was just hardly one day back, 3rd March. World Wildlife Day is celebrated just 2 days back, 3rd March. So all these things are to highlight the importance of environment. And then these are the different laws which have been made, like Biodiversity Act, then Wildlife Protection Act in 1972, then Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, then Environmental Protection Act 1986, Motor Vehicle Act, then Ganga Action Plan for cleaning of the river Ganga. It was a major thing. A lot of money was also involved in this. In 1988, this was introduced. This was 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reuse, reduce, and recycle. Now, I already mentioned there is one more R: refuse. Now, this thing is showing that this is a basic problem nowadays of e-waste management. So now, because you are using your phones, you are using all those electronic gadgets, and if something wrong with the gadget, you are not able to rectify it, or not able to get it repaired, you just dump it like that. So nowadays there are many centers in what they have done is they have different counters where you can leave your electronic waste. So they go for e-waste. So that all comes under e-waste management. Then solid waste management. This all it has been covered. Then the vehicular pollution, or this lead-free petrol, plantation of trees, CNG. So this all. This I found very interesting. And it's scary also. You can see it's written, wow, it's scary. I was just seeing this thing Facebook. So I came across this, and it's you can see that how long does it take to decompose. So you can see that paper towels, it takes hardly 2 to 4 weeks to decompose, as compared to, you can see the lowest among the this thing list is plastic bags, which take 200 to 1,000 years. Then plastic bottles take 450 years to decompose. Aluminium can, you can say. So it's very important that people should be made aware of this. So there need to create awareness amongst the people that plastic is one of the major reasons related to the greenhouse effect, if we want to support a green environment. Then there are various agencies which are working for the green future, and the most important amongst those are Center for Environmental Education, Ahmedabad, located at Ahmedabad, Salim Ali Center. Salim Ali, I hope you must have all, he was a very famous bird ornithologist. He was an ornithologist.
In Coimbatore, yeah.
Yeah, Coimbatore, yeah, Salim Center for Ornithology. Then there is a Department of Environmental Biology also in South Delhi campus, Delhi University. And then Center for Science and Environment in New Delhi. And Sunita Narayan is there. She was the managing director of that institute. And they publish a fortnight publication also by the name of Down to Earth. It's a fortnight newsletter publication. Then there is TERI, the Energy Research Institute, which is located at Delhi. Then NBPGR, National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, it is located at New Delhi. Then National Botanical Research Institute is located at Lucknow. And our very own, there is one national level institute located in Nagpur that you should know. And if you get a chance, please do visit that institute.
Ma'am, I already visited NEERI.
Very good, very good. National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, NEERI. It's a CSAR institute in Nagpur. Then there are various NGOs which are working on environment, and it's BIF Development Research Foundation, Pune, then Green Future Foundation, Pune, Maharashtra, then Dhara Mitra in Wardha in Maharashtra, then Narmada Bachao Andolan, which is led by Medha Patkar. And as far as Nagpur is concerned, there is an association NGO which is working towards the cause of environment, and Mr. Girish Gandhi he is associated. It's known as One Rai. These are the very famous people associated with the environment. You all must have heard Sundarlal Bahuguna. He was associated with the Chipko movement.
Yes,
Then
ma'am.
made,
Hug
yes, yeah,
They used to hug if the people.
yeah, yes, yes. They used to hug the trees when the all the ladies and all villagers when the contractor came to cut the trees. Yes, very good. Then Medha Patkar was associated with Narmada Bachao Andolan. Then Dr. Prakash Amte is associated with Lok Biradari Wardha. And one guy I already mentioned, Girish Gandhi ji. And then Dhara Mitra by the name of person Tara Kate. And then Dr. Vandana Shiva is a very famous environmentalist, and Sunita Narayan already mentioned. And then Dr. Rajendra Singh. Dr. Rajendra Singh, I don't know how many of you have
Yes,
heard the name. You have heard? Very good.
But
He is he is known as the Waterman of India. He got the Raman Magsaysay Award for community leadership for the environment, for this water management in 2001. He was given the Raman Magsaysay Award. Like I always say, if you search in the internet, you will find many examples and where the young people they have left their jobs, high-paying, high-profile jobs, to take up something which eco-friendly, environment-friendly, or organic, like organic farming. Nowadays you must have heard biocontrol agents, organic farming. All these are environment friendly techniques, and they have created a. I was seeing on the internet, there was just a couple who has created a big forest also. They planted so many trees, and all those people, not necessarily they are educated. There were some examples where the lady involved was not educated, but then she had done a lot of this thing in the field of environment. So, and then there are a lot of young people, a lot of who are also being mobilized, and they are coming together, and they are working for the cause of environment. So that is a bright thing about this, that our youth is becoming aware of the environmental issues and doing their bit, whatever they can do to save the environment, to improve the quality of the environment. And so my this thing message to you will be save nature and save mankind. And for this, let us work together. That will definitely go a long way in fulfilling our motto of conservation of environment and improving the quality of air, the food we eat. It will definitely affect everyone. So that was all from my side. Thank you so much. It was wonderful connecting to you. It was wonderful connecting to you on this virtual platform. And for this, I would like to thank the coordinator for giving me an opportunity to express my ideas, to share my ideas with you people. And it was wonderful connecting with you. And I would definitely like to take a few questions if you want to discuss. You want to discuss something? Someone want to ask? Someone wants to add anything to what I have already mentioned? I would love to hear from you. Anyone? So,
Ankit
yes.
Bhuria. Ankit Bhuria, can you please mute the mic if you don't want to ask anything? Ayush, you want to ask something?
Ma'am, but is not related to topic.
Okay, then we can talk later.
This thing, something interesting related to environment, we can talk.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then go ahead, Ayush.
Ma'am, actually, I want to discuss that the cars running on fuel, like petrol and diesel,
Yes.
is like electric vehicles and all.
Yeah. Very good, very good. Actually, I forgot to mention that now, along with CNG. Nowadays, very good point you have added. Actually, that slipped off my mind. Nowadays, the electric vehicles are coming up, and in one charging, the 250 kilometers it can run. So that again is a step towards this thing to save the environment. Also, they are environment friendly. Also, electric vehicles. Yes, definitely. I forgot to add that point.
Ma'am, but as we can see, the prices for petrol and diesel are rising.
Yeah, they are touching the sky.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. But once the setup is ready with all, and if it will be affordable for all of us,
Yes,
then electric.
definitely. Actually, these things they take time, but then it does happen because to standardize the things and all this takes some time. But electric vehicle will definitely be the norm of tomorrow. Definitely, they are going to come up because they are like coming up also. I have read in the newspapers also. Tata also did come up with electric vehicle. So it will definitely be the norm, normal norm, you can say, tomorrow. Yes. Anyone else wants to add
I,
something? Yes, John?
ma'am, don't you think for quality of life, you said a concept, right? Uh,
Yeah.
move more towards development and industrialization.
Yes,
And in
that is
that
what
sense, ma'am, if we keep this in mind that man is hampering the environment, it will
yes,
affect our countries, the developing countries, more. The
yes,
If we
yes.
look at other countries like China, they haven't taken. I don't think they think about environment. They kept on developing the natural resources. They worked on it, and now they're well off, ma'am.
Yes, actually, what I feel is that development is very important. We can't stop the industries, setting of the industries. We can't stop the development. So that is what I mentioned. That nowadays the concept of sustainable development is coming. Sustainable development means you have to carry out the development also, but then keeping in mind the things which can be avoided and the things which can deteriorate the quality of environment. That only we have to take care. We can't stop the development. That has to be there. I'm not saying I'm not against development. Development will be there, but then we have to go by sustainable development. Because as I say already said that famous quote by Mahatma Gandhi, there is enough for everyone need, but not for greed. So that's the difference. Yes. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to ask?
Ma'am, one good practice for sustainable development would be that if we buy a small piece of land
Yeah.
and I mean built a huge skyscraper like thing, definitely the offices will be in a floors like system. So it would be great.
So that we have wonderful ideas coming from youth, young people. Yes. So anyone else wants to add something? Yes, Paulus has raised a hand. You want to ask something?
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So that was all from my side, and it was wonderful connecting with you people on this virtual platform. And I once again thank the coordinator for inviting me for this session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I mean, I know how busy you were
No,
last
no.
few days, but still you managed somehow. And you devoted so much of time, and that too full of facts and information, and so interestingly. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Kavita. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
And some information I have for students, that this is probably the last lecture of our EVS session, and in in after some time we are going to have exam of this EVS, and those who have not uploaded the projects, please upload it as soon as possible. You will not get time after 1 or 2 days, because we will be having the exam. And those who are not aware of the exam pattern, you can see the video in which Sarika ma'am has explained all the exam related things. So please go through that video, and plus all the 10 lectures of EVS that we have taken, all are uploaded on YouTube. This too will be uploaded on YouTube in some time. So please go through all the video lectures and prepare well for the exam.
So all the best for your exams. Do well.
Thank you.
And please,
Thank you, ma'am.
don't take
Thank you, ma'am.
serious, don't restrict yourself only to getting good marks. All these lectures are not only to get good marks. Obviously, marks are also important. But please, I would really appreciate if you bring all these things to your day-to-day life. You really implement them. So then I will really feel that yes, whatever we have tried to convey to you, little
Yes,
bit, whatever
ma'am.
we can do from our side, we'll be really happy about it.
Ma'am,
Yes,
a week
ma'am. Yes,
ago,
ma'am.
I planted mirchi plants.
Yeah, very good. Yes. So that was all. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thanks
ma'am.
so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye bye.
Thank you, man.